What's up, guys? Tony, Stephen. I got it right that time. Exley's on the NFL. This is Pro Bowl week. Was Pro Bowl week? I don't know. Pro Bowl was on the weekend. I watched some of it. Not all of it, some of it. I think I watched the first half of the flag game. I played flag, and that was hard to watch. I hope people that watch us play flag at some point don't think, that is fucking... I'm joking. It wasn't too bad. I mean...
The flag football was the bit to watch if you're going to watch the Pro Bowl games from this year, I would say.
Yeah. Did you see the punting thing they done? Where the punt was that got quite intense. I was a little bit surprised how tense that would be. And like everyone else was saying...
That was the only decent thing outside of the flag game, I would say.
I only watched the first half of the game. I was so tired. And I knew I had to be up early.
It didn't really get any better. I watched the first half, started watching the second half, got bored and started reading.
Yeah, it's going to be a mega short week this week because absolutely naffle is happening apart from the Eagles and the Chiefs getting ready for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot has happened literally outside of the Pro Bowl, has it really? Not many coaches have been hired, apart from Chip Kelly went to one of the teams, but I don't remember any major news aside of that.
No, literally it's just a podcast this week to cover a few bits that we've seen. One thing I wanted to bring up is Jordan Love, right? He threw for 26 touchdowns this year, so he's donating new cleats to 26 local schools to celebrate.
I saw that.
1,300 brand new pairs, and that's from his non-profit Hands of Love. Yeah, Hands of Love. For a second then I wanted to say something else. Hands to Love or something. But no. Yeah. I thought that's pretty cool. I know
that was good.
Yeah, everyone's got their non-profit that they do. But I know how expensive like cleats and stuff are. And
yeah.
Everybody needs cleats. You can play the sport, all different sports. It's not just football either. I've seen some sports were lacrosse, some sports were tennis, soccer, football. So it's not just,
The thing is, most sports, once you've got a pair of cleats, you can do something of most of them.
Yeah, exactly.
So just having a pair is going to be better than running around in trainers.
Yeah, there was a breakdown of how many schools he donated, like what schools he donated to and what the sports were for. Which I think is pretty cool. You don't see many people that this has been like leaked, if you like, 'cause he didn't put this up himself. But while we're on the subject of Jordan Love, I seen a tweet. This is where I just thought, man, you need to be careful what you see on social media, because I had to actually look into this a little bit more. Jordan Love was asked by the Packers to take a pay cut next season. He said no and unfollowed them on Instagram. It's not true. I checked it.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few different stories of stuff, of like big stars or whatever, and then you look into them and it's absolute bollocks.
Yeah.
I saw one where somebody had deep faked a video of, I think it was the Giants GM.
Slating Aaron Rodgers.
No, he was saying that it was essentially like supposedly a video of him essentially crying about letting Saquon go and stuff. But like in the video, he's actually supposed to be crying and stuff. I was like, that doesn't seem right.
AI is taking over, mate. It's fucking craziness.
Even if they wanted to apologise to their fans or whatever, they wouldn't come out crying in the video and stuff. So
mental, isn't it?
You've got to be careful what you believe, so to speak. Do a little bit of research on that.
Yeah, exactly. Cooper Kupp has requested a trade from the Rams. I mean, that's like pretty old news now.
Did Cooper request, or did he get told he was being traded?
Pretty sure Cooper Kupp requested, same as Myles Garrett.
I know Myles Garrett requested.
Yeah, he wrote a letter, didn't he?
I just saw a thing about Cooper Kupp being traded by next season. I didn't know if he requested it or not.
Let me just look that up quickly. Gonna play. No, sorry. The Rams are looking to trade Cooper Kupp. My mistake.
I thought that was because I remember one being told they're being traded and one being requested.
Is Miles Garrett requested the trade, and Cooper Cup is being traded or is up for trade?
I kind of figured both of those were happening in those ways because I remember, was it like November? There was talks of them, Miles Garrett having possibly said to somebody that he wanted to win a title.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And if he can't do it with us, he was going to request a trade. And I'd heard Cooper Cup might get traded at the end of the season because he's like on his team, aside from Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua, he's got the biggest value.
Who wouldn't want these two fucking outstanding players?
Yeah, I mean, any team Cooper Cup goes to, even if he was wide receiver 2, he would be a fucking decent 2.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even if you say, no, we don't want him, we've got our wide receiver, put him in your 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Even a half speed Cooper Cup's better than half the players that are coming out.
Yeah, when you look at some of the players that some of the teams have had this year.
Aside from Malik Neighbours, what receivers have the Giants got?
That's it, really, isn't it?
I can't think of any. Titans, Jags, Panthers. They've got Xavier Legette. He's doing all right. But I don't know if he's going to be number 1.
Yeah.
There's loads of teams that need a good receiver, and Miles Garrett's just a monster wherever he goes. Who's not going to want him? Let's be honest.
They could potentially send Cooper Cup over to the Browns. He could be a good fit for them.
Yeah.
And Miles Garrett's going to go wherever he's needed.
I think his situation is going to depend on who wants him the most. Who's got the capital to spend on trading for him.
So I see the Kansas City Chiefs. They are co-favourites to trade for Miles Garrett.
Not this far into the season. I think there's going to be other offers before they can put an offer in seriously because they're now, at this point, they're going to have to wait till after the Super Bowl. I would have thought.
100%. Have they got the...
I'm not even sure if they've got the draft capital because they've traded for quite a few players so far this season through injury.
I'm just trying to find out. That's all I can really see that they would be wanted. They would want him. I've seen so many that could potentially want him.
I mean, the Eagles might.
Yeah.
Because we might be losing one of our edge rushers, Josh Sweat. Well, he's going to be free agent after the Super Bowl. So if we don't re-sign him, we're going to need somebody.
You could, potentially.
And I know we've got, I think, like 5 or 6 free agents coming up.
Yeah, Green Bay's got a few coming up.
43 million cap space for the season. So I don't know if we can bring all the expensive guys back. I don't know how he's going to do whatever.
So here is 3 potentials: Falcons, Lions, and Commanders for Miles Garrett.
I'd heard the Commanders and Lions before. I hadn't heard the Falcons. I'd heard the Packers at one point.
Okay, so Miles Garrett's trade value is speculated to include at least a first-round pick, plus additional assets according to an NFL GM cited by The Athletic. I was just trying to see the Browns' financial situation with Garrett's contract with a potential dead capital hit of $36 million if traded before June 1st complicates his trade value by affecting the timing and terms of any potential deal. So
the other thing is, I don't think the Browns have got a lot of free capital, and I think they need to make some up drastically before next season.
And getting rid of him, letting him go, and someone else footing the bill for him could be the way for it.
Yeah, they are currently about 30.168 million over cap space so far.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they need to drastically cut some salary cap.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, if they weren't paying to Sean Watson, that's about 50 million.
I was just seeing.
He's being paid and he's supposedly torn his Achilles twice in a year.
Talking injuries, did you know Kirk Cousins got injured in week 10 against the Saints? His throwing shoulder and elbow, and he couldn't seem to pull it back to how he should be playing. That's obviously why he played so
Poorly.
if you like.
Yeah, I also don't think what the Falcons are trying to do was the right stuff.
No, they
don't have a good offensive line either.
They don't have a good offensive line at the moment. I'm so fucking stumped. I don't know what's going on. My brain's gone.
I mean, the thing is, everyone's like, he got sacked blah, 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 this many times. If your offensive line's supposed to stop.
Yeah, that's the point, isn't it?
So if he's been sacked loads, that's not QB's fault.
Not at all. Yes. I just seen another one. Where did it go? Cowboys, one-off season move for each NFC team via K-Patra. Cowboys need running back help. Yes, they do need running back help. Yeah. They don't have a run game, really, do they? Is Dak back next season? He can't make it any worse than it's been this so far.
I mean, they weren't many games above being the worst team in the NFC East, so...
They weren't even the worst team. Yeah. Jets, Garrett Wilson rumoured to want out of New York.
I've heard that.
At this point in the season, we are just reading, like, stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot at the moment that's rumours and stuff of who wants to go and what have you. And one thing I did hear, actually, is that the new Jets GM might want to keep Rodgers on as QB.
Why?
I mean, the only reason I can think he would be any good is if either they do something drastic and really have a good go at their offensive line through the draft and free agency.
Yeah, bulk up their offensive line, a little bit of defense.
Yeah, or bring in some new weapons on receivers. It's the only way you're really going to help them, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they've had a few good receivers this season, so I don't know if that's the option.
Yeah. Have you seen, I don't know if you've seen, this is still on the Jets thing, Devontae Adams, there's been like slow, I don't know if it's true or it's internet fakery. Devontae Adams, there's like hints of him coming back to Green Bay. There was a picture of him that matched Green Bay's colours.
I don't think they're going to want him back.
I was going to say, we don't need him back. We got knocked out in the wild card round year before. We got knocked out in the playoff round. We made through the wild card.
You got divisional round last year.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it didn't help wild card this year that you went against the Eagles, who've been brilliant this season.
The Eagles have been dominating this season.
You guys were a bit banged up anyway. It's one of those things.
I don't know.
I mean, you guys should next season have all your receivers back.
Yeah, I'm hoping
Hopefully you get Christian and Watson back as well. So
if he stays,
no real need for him.
Yeah, hopefully he stays with the Packers.
Would you really want him back? I mean, he jumped ship real fast.
Christian Watson, Devontae Adams. No, I don't think.
Yeah.
As a team, we need him back. As a fan, I wouldn't want him back. As soon as Aaron Rodgers asked him, he left.
That's what I mean. Like, he jumped ship so fast. You really want someone like that back?
No. I'm just looking up Garrett Wilson's stats. He got 1,104 receiving yards with an average of 10.9 yards, 7 touchdowns this season. He is on the Jets, so you can't base his stats off of anything, really.
Yeah, but 1,000 receiving yards on a shit team like the Jets.
A team that didn't do very well this season, yeah.
Oh, I think that's quite impressive.
Yeah, if we do need a wide receiver, it wouldn't be Devontae Adams. I would say Garrett Wilson would be a good fit. He's young. Yeah. He's young, and that's what the Packers are all about. Young,
developing the talent, not just trying to buy in talent.
Yeah, exactly.
Get someone who's fairly good, still young enough to learn, and mold him. That's what the Eagles have been doing lately.
Yeah, that's what they have done. That's where you've got people like Jalen Hurts, he's not a vet really, but he's not a rookie either. And
I think
they molded him into the player they need him to be.
I think he's like 26, 27.
Yeah, same as Saquon.
So
they players to fit. I think it also is Garrett Wilson could be shit on the Jets. That organization might not be right for him. Same as with Saquon. The Giants weren't the team for him. He's gone to the Eagles, to the Packers.
And they all performed so much better than their previous season.
Yeah, because they are allowed to do what they need to do, but they're not willing to risk the game just for their personal stats. It's all about the team. Whereas you're looking at other teams, it's all about the star QB or star wide receiver.
And that's when you start getting issues. They'll have a tantrum, I'm not getting the ball enough, or rah, rah, rah. And then you start trying to get them the ball a lot, and then they start getting intercepted, or dropped, or fumbled. It goes all over the place. Like, everyone can say what they want about Jalen Hurts' stats not being where people deem it should be for a top-tier QB or whatever.
He can throw and he can run.
He can throw, he can run, but he's done whatever's needed to win the game. That's it. That's all that matters. No, this is a rematch from 2 years ago.
Was he QB1 2 years ago?
Yep. And even after the game, in like the pressers and what have you after the games, Pat Mahomes was saying if there was any doubters before the game, there shouldn't be now. Jalen Hurts has proven what he can do.
Yeah.
Mahomes after the Eagles.
Did you see? Sorry, you said Patrick Mahomes. It reminded me that there was something put out about referees. Roger Goodell addressed the whole referee
Yes, I saw
favouring the Chiefs, and he thinks basically it's laughable. It's social media shit, basically, in my words, not his. And the refs have addressed it, and I think they're quite deeply offended by it.
Yeah, they found it so insulting and preposterous, apparently.
Yeah, I think I do still think it is.
I can't remember who it was that said it. I think it might have been Gronk. Said they're not trying to help them win, but there may be a couple of calls that favoured them.
Yeah, not necessarily deliberately.
Yeah, they're not deliberately trying to help them win, but there's possibly a few calls throughout the season that have maybe gone their way, but not trying to help them win the game. Now, that I think is a better way to say it. Because as I say, like, people hated 2 or 3 goals in that game against the Bills, and they were saying, "Oh, the refs gave it to them for this." They didn't. If you watch that game, those calls were very questionable.
Yeah.
Even with VR assistance.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. We were talking about this training on Saturday. It doesn't matter what angle you try and look at that from, how many times you watch it, how many times you slow it down. It's going to be difficult to see some of those calls. How, for us, fans, we
get all the angles.
Yeah, we get
all the angles shown to us on TV, slowed right down to within milliseconds. And you can see like their hands that far from the line or something. Now, real time, with it 10 foot in front of you, you're not going to see that easily.
And they're either end of the sidelines. There's one ref on the field, and the 3 of them are trying to decipher it between them. It's going to be called how they think is fairest. If 2 people see it one way, one person sees it another way, they're going to go with the 2 over the
that's it.
last person. In my opinion, I didn't want the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl, but they have. I think
just because of the 3P. Chiefs are a good team.
That's what's made it worse.
I hate the 3P.
That's what's made it worse for everyone.
Yeah,
the 3P.
It is that 100%.
If it was the Raiders that were on the same hype as the Chiefs or the Jets or anyone was on the same hype as the Chiefs are right now, everyone would be saying exactly the same thing. And we jumped on that bandwagon and joked around with it. It is what it is.
Okay, so apparently the team with the least penalties this season is Arizona. Then Indianapolis, Vegas, Chargers, Jacksonville, Atlanta, Cincinnati, then KC. So KC aren't the least flagged team. I think what KC do, and what they're quite good at, is, and a few of their players have made a point of it, is they seem to match their gloves to jerseys.
Was literally about to say that. Was about to say,
which makes it a lot harder to see holding calls.
If Green Bay are wearing green jerseys, you're going to try and match the gloves as best you can to
not get caught so much.
It's going to be easier if you're like, so Eagles playing Green Bay.
Yeah.
We could match because it's got to be team colours. So green and green is quite matching. Red and red.
Baltimore's the most flagged, 140.
Ooh.
Compare it to Arizona, who had 92.
It's mental.
So yeah, it is what it is. I think KC are just a bit better at hiding it than most teams. That's the difference.
Yeah, teams.
Everyone tries to get away with it.
Yeah, everyone does. Everyone tries to get away with it, and some teams are better than others. And the teams that are worse at it, the fans are just bitter about it. And I'm a die-hard Packers fan. Like, I've been like, that was a fucking holding, and
I will still say though, the end of Super Bowl 57 pissed me off. The holding on James Bradbury that cost us the Super Bowl, that pissed me off. But he got caught for it. He got pulled for it. There's nothing you can do. He hasn't actually played this season.
Has he not?
I looked it up the other day. We haven't traded him. He is still on the roster. He's been on IR all season.
Must be something bad then.
I don't think he got injured.
Weird.
I can't find anything about it. But he's been inactive all season. I don't know if he's actually on injured reserve or if he's just inactive.
Yeah.
But he hasn't played all season. But he's still on the roster.
Right. I am just scrolling on X, the formerly Twitter, confuses the fuck out of me. Where did I just see? Quinion Mitchell says that Eagles cornerback Darius Slay is the best cornerback in NFL history.
There's been a few people that have said that about him. So something I saw about that, he wants to play next year. And then I think he wants to play out his contract, which I think he's got another year on, maybe two. But he's not sure if he's going to be playing for the Eagles.
Really?
Yeah.
That could be an interesting time for the Eagles next season.
Well, we've got quite a few, because after what happened last season, our defense just being smashed to pieces, we loaded up on quite a few cornerbacks and stuff. Obviously, we took Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean in the draft. Yeah. And I think we signed 2 or 3 in free agency. And I think on the roster, there's actually like 6 cornerbacks.
Okay.
So we've got plenty of help there. I would like to see Darius Slay retire an Eagle, though.
Yeah. It's always a good feeling when you see them retire for a team they played for their whole season, like their whole career, like Jason Kelce did. Or
well, he didn't play for the Eagles for the whole career.
Did he not?
He came over. No, he got traded from Detroit.
Jason Kelce. Right, okay.
I'm not sure who's going to want to take him, though, because he's 34 now. I wonder if you just try and rework his contract, say, maybe bring his price down, keep him as a veteran, pass on the knowledge to the young guys. And let him retire when he's ready, and just kind of keep him as a good rotational piece.
Yeah, maybe. He has done a lot for the Eagles, and it would be nice to see him retire as an Eagle.
Well, so I'm looking at it now. His stats for this season is 39 solo, 1 forced fumble, 10 passes deflected.
That's really good.
He's 34. But the weird thing is, they're not marking down his interception. I know that was, I think, that's playoffs that came in.
Oh my God. That's so dumb.
Yeah, he's had an interception in the playoffs. 5 passes deflected, 10 solo tackles, 2 assisted. And that's just in the playoffs. And he's 34, so
could be the best that ever was. No, exactly that. I've got nothing else apart from Stephon Diggs, free agent, would prefer to play for the Texans or Cowboys in 2025. Why would you want to go to the Cowboys? Come on, Cowboys fans, jump on us and tell us why.
But Stephon Diggs is notoriously I'm the best receiver. You've got to play me.
Yeah.
He had a temper tantrum in the Bills, didn't he? And that's why he got traded, and he wasn't being getting the ball enough. Went to the Texans, ended up injured and what have you. So that's why he would go to the Cowboys because he could potentially be wide receiver one almost straight away.
Yeah, they haven't really got too much going.
They got CD Lamb, but it's what do you do?
It's only so long CD can keep playing, I think.
Well, you say that, but Jerry Jones pissed away the money this season on him and Dak.
Yep.
Spent like $400 million on the pair.
Yeah, and Dak went out. Let's hope Dak comes back next season. I've missed who you got.
To be fair, they aren't the worst team in the NFL.
They're not.
They always seem to get very close to the playoffs. Do you know what I mean? So that they're okay. I just think Jerry needs to get his hands out the fucking team and just let his GM do his work.
Release that vice-like grip and let them get on with it. 100%. Super Bowl is coming up. I'm looking forward to it. You looking forward to it?
Oh yes, the Eagles win it, baby. In it to win it.
In it to win it. Have you bet your rent on Eagles winning?
No. There's nobody else here if I piss the rent way, man. If I could afford to, I would.
Yes, we are watching the Super Bowl together, and I'm thinking we'll either like reaction video it or something like that, and we'll do our normal podcast on the Tuesday. It'll be out Tuesday night, Wednesday night, something like that, depending when we actually get it done. And we're going to see a twist of fate, see who's going to walk away with that lovely Lombardi trophy.
I think the interesting thing about this one is either the Eagles win, get their revenge on Chiefs for 2 years ago, or the Chiefs win and get their 3B dynasty. There's some storyline on the line for this one.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be a good one. Kendrick Lamar doing the halftime show.
After sweeping the Grammys.
Yeah, sweeping the Grammys, 5 for 5. That's fucking outstanding. Who done last year's? Usher, wasn't it? Usher.
That was a bit of a shit show.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy the Usher one. The year before, I think, was Dr. Dre. And that. Was it Rihanna? Was it the year before? When did Dr. Dre do it?
The year before, I believe.
Man, I watched that. That felt like it was only last year, year before last.
It was either the year before last was, I'm pretty sure that one, because that was when the Eagles played the Chiefs, and I'm pretty sure that one was Rihanna, and then the one before it was the Dre one.
Let me look it up. When did Dr. Dre die? He didn't die. Fucking hell.
Super Bowl 57 halftime show was Rihanna, so it must have been 56 was Dre.
LVI. Yeah, so that was 2021.
Yeah. 56 was Dre, Snoop, and all them, which was the year before 57.
Mate.
So that was 22.
That doesn't feel like it was that long ago. What the fuck? I suppose it's still early in 2025, so...
Yeah, that's the thing you got to think about. It is literally the start of 2025. It's not... It's because the season runs through the year, so by the time Super Bowl comes around, it's actually the start of the next year.
I watched that Super Bowl, but I didn't watch the... I must have not watched the Rihanna show. I don't know.
I did, but it won... I'm not a huge Rihanna fan, so it wasn't much for me. But yeah, I think the Kendrick should be one. Should be.
Yeah, I like Kendrick Lamar. I've just noticed we didn't have our... Do not forget to subscribe on YouTube and Instagram, Exley's NFL podcast. I'm done. How about you?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Coolio Muccio. We will see you on, after, or during the Super Bowl. And we'll see you next week.